There goes our only net, so maybe not worth the test run there, but not too shabby. But I'll read the identify scroll real quick. It's just a kobold insight. That's not too shabby. Kobold demonologists are a little bit scarier, just for their potential summons. There we go. The shared pain mixed with the knockout effect is absolutely incredible. Sorry, was that a regular sling or an advanced one? I can definitely double check. On the floor here, or do you mean the one we're using? Ah, no, the one over here, correct. An eagle eye in chat, thank you very much. Again, maybe I'm going with the flow thing and making mistakes just because I'm completely oblivious to some of the more obvious things in the game here. Would you look at that? But a +1 haunting sling of freezing. Perfect. We finally have that branded sling that I so desired. Freezing isn't a great brand for a sling here, just because it does just add a percentage-based damage, but still better than nothing for sure. Maybe try out the sling at the very least for a couple of these fights. Now, I do usually find on my end of things with a lot of the Halfling Hunter runs that I've played in the past, I've gone, yeah, with much more decent number of slain bonuses, whether that be an incredible sling, really good like set of rings or something like that. But yeah, anecdotally or like historically, I've definitely found myself using the sling as my most powerful weapon, but this run has very much been more so along the lines of like, oh, the sling is very good for those conditions where a ranged weapon is better, but otherwise we're better off using our daggers, which is unfortunate because I did want to get a good showcase of the slings in here. Also, geez Louise, that was not a fun hit to take, mostly from this spirit buddy. We'll finish off them, and how much can you hit for, ogre friend? Far too much is the answer, if you were wondering. So, let's run away. In fact, do we have those Curari darts? Love to see it. Never mind, you only love to see it if they hit. There we go, perfect. Let's gain some distance from this buddy. Maybe even Curari them again. Perfect, love to see it. And that should do it with the stones alone. Perfect. As long as you have the ability to slow down those bigger threats, they're not too bad, all in all. At least not run-ending levels of catastrophe. Not too shabby. This is one of those cases where just ranged weapons are kind of convenient for fighting. Exactly what we were talking about earlier here. I also realized I dropped all of my brilliance potions, but I don't know if I turn them off auto pickup. So we'll hop in here and make sure we do that real quick. And, let's try one more dungeon floor. See how she treats us here. Of course, we get an unseen thing on D13. Where does that leave me? Here's what we'll do instead. Let's use the magic mapping. There is a downstairs, or rather an upstairs, right next to the ice cave. So we can wait a turn, make sure that the invisible disturbance is a space away. And then let us do some quick peeks down each of these stairways. Dang it. Keep risking it for these sneak attacks, taking that step towards people, but it's not worth it if you just wake them up in the motion there. Jeez Louise. Okay, you have Curari. Just a short sword of venom, though. That's not too scary. Right, fine, I'll just stab you. Or we can throw Curari darts at each other all day, okay? was able to hit her and she was missing me like every time, so definitely not too shabby. I'll take that, and that is a whole bunch of Chiari darts to add to our collection. Potentially lifesavers, each and every one of them. And into the ice cave we go. Crap, I just realized I should have, what's the word I'm looking for? It's cleared out my inventory before heading in, is the thing. But we'll do what we must. How hard do you hit? Jesus. The answer is very. If you were curious, you're also fast. Even as an ice zombie, you're fast. So this might be an early exit to the ice cave, but that's fine. These things happen. We can't always hope to make it through to the finish. Normally I expect to run into the troubles a bit deeper, don't get me wrong, but jeez Louise. Like, all of these are just far too many extra numbers, you know what I mean? Okay, let's maybe take a step onto here. None of the simulacrum can follow us through the gate at the very least, so we can maybe pull some stuff. Oh, the box of beasts is still inert. Huh. I definitely thought that would have recharged by now. My bad. Well, let's see how it goes. We're able to retreat at any time. And there we are. I think that's going to be the retreat. I'm going to sit here for just a minute and think about it. If there's an easy solution to the matter here. But in general, I think no matter what, it's going to be a wee bit scary. And there's no guarantee we can make it through the rest of the ice cave either, which is the kind of painful part here. We could throw a lot of consumables at this for nothing. So, I'm sorry to say, ice caves, fare thee well. Hopefully you didn't have too much good treasure. But yeah, good thing we accounted for some potential hits on the way out. Survive for another day. And you know what? I don't want to deal with our unseen horror, as it were. So I think we will just head up to the Orcish mines, take a peek in, maybe try and make some money. We can even head back up to some shops that we left behind. I think there's a magical cloak that we could take a peek at in one of those. Maybe gain some AC, maybe gain some more resistances. No RC, that's Railbird, just 1 pip. So we do have some RC, weirdly enough. We were just taking some bad rolls there, I think, for the most part. Even with the halved damage on the auxiliary cold effects, we still got hit kind of hard there. Not too bad. Seeing some of Uskaya's magic in motion there. Painbrand and the paralysis, just absolutely incredible stuff. I also feel like I'm getting lulled into a false sense of security because our evasion is now at a decent point. And so I think we're, you know, going head to head with strong enemies when really we're just lucking out. They're missing every time. And then the second they hit us for even the very first time, I'm crapping my pants. But hey, we'll take each and every fight as it comes here. Part of the whole point of each and every delve into the dungeon is to learn a little something. Figure out another piece of the game. Another chunk of the puzzle, as it were. And let's just run up with the one wizard. Perfect. Started taking just a little bit too much damage there at the end from smites, but not too shabby to break up the crowds a wee bit. Smooth things out. Here we go. What kind of final dungeon endeavor are we dealing with? I don't like that there are demons involved. I thought, as soon as I saw the black walls, I thought that this might be some pandemonium shenanigans, and it does seem to indeed be the case. The case, as it were. We have some pandemonium shenanigans, or at least hell. One or the other. So, we could continue to try and fight this. Let's see here. You hit 15 plus 13. We have our Lek at the very least. That's not too bad. You have your smiting, which is the main painful, annoying thing. Let's try and stare dance these sons of guns, shall we? First bring just you pair up with us. Oh gosh. Rough stuff. I guess maybe I should stop using the electricity thing against the electric beast. Probably would be for the best. Let's switch to our speed dagger, see if that helps out at all. Not really, it's looking like. We're being honest with ourselves. Double checking again. 15 to another 13. So even without our lek, that would only be a 28. It's not too bad. And hey, Psycho, how's it going? Hope your day has been fantastic thus far. Welcome to the run. The slightly issue-filled, scary attempts with Halfling here. Doing my best. Extremely fast and covers ground extremely quickly. Right. Well, you got your first 9 rune win yesterday and got your first 13 rune win today. So it has been great. Fantastic. Love to hear it. Hopefully I can siphon off a bit of your luck, bring it over to my side of things here. Definitely need it on our end, but love to hear it. Always nice to get some solid runs under the belt. Okay, see, when do you like do your weird stagger thing? We go like this. Okay, that's not too bad. This becomes a weird puzzle game now where as we're running away, there are much better odds that this buddy misses us. And I'm trying to make it so that that single wide gap lines up for when we hit the stairs, because that would be kind of fine and dandy. Unfortunately, we're so close, but one off each and every time. Yeah, it's weird. With a fast enemy, normally this would be counterproductive because we'd be taking damage as we took these steps to run away. But fortunately, with the Amulet of the Acrobat, we do find ourselves at a bit of an advantage in that specific department, at least. Oh no. And there we go. Oh, my cockiness fades away as we take even one hit. And I need to somehow kill this beastie. Let's bring them out of here, shall we? Also, you're currently on a run with Hood of the Assassin and Cloak of the Thief. Wow, good stuff. That's definitely a whole lot of fun in that combo. Okay, I'm just going to teleport away from this 6th sphere. Perfect. That way we just don't have to worry about it. Let's clean our hands of the whole dealio. Jeez Louise. We really need to find... I haven't missed a rapier, right? Let's check. Dang it. Very much relying normally on finding a rapier by this stage in the game, but that's fine. More slain could also do the trick, I guess. Let's head back up a ways, shall we? Oh man, very stealthy unrand arts, Psycho, yeah. We can get some, yeah, silly things going. Specifically, just Hood of the Assassin on its own is so much fun. Going around with your giant executioner's axe, getting very perfectly placed, precise backstabs in your enemies. Love it. But as for our game here, where do we wish to go? Where do we think that we could eke out a little bit of a life for ourselves? Snake pits were a bit tough, for sure. I feel like swamp's going to be fairly similar. Maybe we do want to continue going down just classic dungeon floors, avoid the unseen horror for the time being. Unfortunately, don't know all what I'd be hoping to get out of that. Definitely would get a bit more experience, potentially some good items. I guess rapier is what we were just talking about now that I think about it. Hum-dee-dum. Let's do it. I'm going to head out this way. We'll have to be careful anytime we're coming through D11, of course. But that should be okay. Let's head through the unexplored stairs and let's see if we can't find a couple more items to maybe tip the balance in our favors. Or in our favor, as it were, for that last little bit of power we need to continue here. Let's bring y'all into the hallway, if you'd be so kind. Don't love the orc priest's positioning in all of this, but should be fine. Perfect. Orc packs at least aren't the be-all end-all of our existence. Oh, maybe we want to switch to heavier armor. Maybe that might be an option at the very least. There may be a Randart ring mail for sale at a shop somewhere. Oh my gosh. Oh no. Never go running away into unexplored territory. That's one of the most basic rules of DCSS here that I completely ignored. Unfortunately, we've put the summoner, or thanks to the wizard's blink, they are on the wrong side of their elementals from us. Jeez Louise, that was way more of a pain in the butt than it had any right to be. I also don't like starting a fight with a two-headed ogre while I'm in a dead end. Let's open up with some Curari, shall we? Make sure we really slow that buddy down. Trying our best to murder them before they cross the ground. Perfect. Back into things here. There we go. That's a much more straightforward fight. Maybe I should be using my sling more often over my my daggers. So much of it is just for those... Everyone has to stop and watch us dance for a bit. Things that Iskaya helps out so dearly with. But also, again, screw trying to fight a summoner while all of their summons are between the two of us. Let's just run back and reinitiate that fight, shall we? In fact, we can even just head back into auto-explore. There's the unseen horror. Guess we stand here. Let's wait until it reveals itself. Perfect. And rinse and repeat. Oh gosh, but we don't want to go that way. Oh me, oh my. Oh, it did not see us. Okay, let us close this door. I should have gone back. Ooh, should probably go back around and close this door and this door. And then we could just exclude all those and the unseen horror would never bother us again. We'll at least exclude this one so we don't have to worry about Auto Explorer taking us directly that way. But there we go. Also, I'd just been hypothesizing about sling versus dagger, but I think I'm back around to thinking they're both kind of not quite doing the trick as to the extent that we so desire. Jeez, yeah, this is rough. That's a lot of polearm buddies with access to us, but there we go. We have our solo. Let us then run away. Even though everyone is bonded or linked with their pain bond right now, so maybe we can get a couple hits in. There we go. Not too shabby. The might wore off on most of those bad boys too. That was probably part of it. And then let's just take the rest of the crew back with us, shall we? Not too shabby. As long as they're not mighted, I'm back to being okay with fighting even orc warriors in this state of health. Run away. Even a Curari Dart combo. Back into the classic of things here. There we go. Clean up with our sling, I guess, is probably a good idea, even if just so that we're not quite risking ourselves to the same extent. But there we have it. Big ol' room full of orcs. Ain't no thing. Ooh, geez Louise. Don't love this. Slime creature, you do 60? Something like that. 66. Oof. Well, let's take that step now. In fact, gaining the ground on this buddy is not too shabby. Let's jump back into the fight immediately, try to take advantage of that fact even. Ideally, we can get you buddies while you're split. Nice. Wait, no, that's a falchion. Damn it. I think that does count as a long blade, unfortunately. I got excited for a moment in my head. I believed maybe that was a rapier, but unfortunately not the case. Gosh darn it, you cyan ugly thing. Why is everything so strong? Oh, we are using electricity on it. That doesn't help. Switch over to our Blade of Speed, at least get twice the attacks in. And it's definitely worth checking our falchion here, if just to see if it might convince us to pivot a bit into long blades, which is usually the route that we go on this kind of character. Most short blade characters end up having to take the pivot at some point. We pop into our skills here. I mean, we already have 5 with just cross-training. That's not too bad. You know, stealth is something I don't have a lot of experience in, so I'm not sure where I want to be leaving that off. But otherwise, things are just kind of coming up nicely, just on the cusp of where I might start pivoting. Potentially want to train up some armor, switch into something a little bit heavier. I might even do that. It's as good as we are dodging, and as amazing as it is to take no damage on an attack, obviously ideal. I'm not super comfortable with the odds all the time there, so it might be a semi-decent idea. Jesus. How much damage do you do? I didn't expect it to be that bad. Oh, geez Louise. You're at least not fast. We can random energy or get a gap. We can close this. Do manticores have hands? Get wrecked. Oh, stupid animals. Get hands next time. Dumb. But okay. Let's make sure I don't accidentally lead my way back in there. In fact, let's just close this door. Screw that. What was up here? Is this just a... Oh, no, that was not a little gate thing. It was a cool little sub area. Let's pop in here. Sling rocks from the doorway so that I can always pop out if that lava worm starts slinging too much heat our way. Oh, there they are. It turns out they were a bit of a pushover in the end. No problems whatsoever. Love to see it. And okie dokie. We have unseen horrors, we have manticores. Nothing that we really desire to fight. I think we need to reconfigure the whole dealio here. So let's find shop. And let's run all the way back up to, I believe, not ruins. We want to go to Zequetti's. Zequetti's shop is the one there. Tribal man, stupid idiots. Exactly, you get it. Right, perfect. Let's pop in here, grab a masterwork ring mail. Maybe it's a mithril chain shirt. Light as a feather, but as strong as dragon scales. One can hope, at the very least. Let's drop some of the wands that I don't find myself using much in any runs, and let's check out this ring mail. The ring mail of the game of life. Dang it, it has the contamination effect on it, so when we try and take this off, it will contaminate us. I don't think I can afford the harm trait, unfortunately. Going by how every encounter has gone, especially in the last half an hour or so, I don't believe that's a great idea. It does get around some of our damage issues, don't get me wrong. Our inability to do damage, that is, but I think I just die. Though the +5 doesn't hurt too much either. Let's do a quick check for ring mail. What was the other one we found? It was a +4, so I'd rather wear that probably. I mean, I'd rather wear neither. Okay, let's contaminate ourselves a little bit. Fortunately, we do have mutation resistance, so perfect. Not a great odd of that going poorly for us. But that ring mail will have to wait, and let's do one more find on armor here and do a quick peek through everything we have in store. Shield of the Gong. So tempting always. If we get stronger, I will pivot into that just for funsies. As for other things, I think it's pretty much just an embroidered cloak. See if that maybe ups our AC a couple of points. Maybe it gives us a nice auxiliary effect as well. Let's check that bad boy out, shall we? And yes, to bind the cloak. Try it on. Cloak of Preservation. So it still gives 1 AC. And resist corrosion isn't horrible. Let's try it out. Yellow cloak to max. Let's try that just from the top, shall we? Yellow cloak to match our golden hat. Is that so hard? Self? Apparently so. But unfortunately, maybe not quite the revamp I was hoping for in this shopping spree. Definitely crossing my fingers on that ring mail really changing things in a huge drastic way, but alas alack, here we are. And this is what truly tests the make of the DCSS player, just because there will be many a run that starts to slow down at this point, and it's all about staying flexible, making sure that we pivot around, make sure we don't overcommit to an area where we're gonna have trouble, at least from how I understand it. Taking all of that all that advice with a large amount of salt, more than just a grain, which I mean. But okie dokie. I think I want Orcish Mines because I want more shops, and I also want weapons. That's always a nice place to go when we're trying to find our very first rapier of the game. So I might head to the entrance again, and I might try and just fight the surfer again. We need a acquirement, says Sipid. I wonder how close we are to acquirement. If we slash and then dash, can hop into here and see how many unidentified scrolls we have. 5? We have 2 on us, right? Just 2 on us. Let me take another quick look at what those are, see if I just want to read ID these at this point. Because brand weapon, I honestly wouldn't mind either. Or maybe I want another sling in my inventory for that, though. I'm guessing 1 has got to be noise, you'd think, right? Just in case, let's find sling. And let's regather my, oh. Hello, friend. We were just talking about you a bit ago. I got you this time. Perfect. Full health, ain't no struggle whatsoever. That's more so how I thought that fight would go the first time. Anywho, back to find our sling. Let's go pick up our old faithful here, and let's read ID a couple of scrolls. And there we go. The first one read ID is a scroll of brand weapon. Would you look at that? And let's brand our hunting sling, shall we? We have a sling of fire and a sling of ice now. Unfortunately, both those, I believe, are equivalent. Unless we're dealing with specific elemental weaknesses or something like that. You know what? We do too many ice elementalists, though. Let's switch that up, shall we? Set the sling of flaming to our A. Also, though, Psycho does pipe in with, I think ice does more additional damage than fire. Interesting. Well, I'll pick it up for now. We can maybe even either anecdotally test that, rather, or it's also not the end of the world to carry them both around while we still can, and try and maybe even just switch to them for resistances, elemental resistances, that is. But if you would look at that, we find ourselves reading Kned Zuna here, and it is the Scroll of Acquirement. How the heck did you know, Safid? I don't think there were great odds of that working out this way, but I'll take it. And interesting choices. We get a manual of slings as an option, which could be interesting. That gives us, what, like a plus 12 aptitude? Something ridiculous. But I don't think, unless we find like a Fustabalis, slings aren't going to be fantastic the whole way through. The ring, just adding stats across the board, is kind of cool, but not incredible. not drop everything incredible, especially when we already have one really good artifact ring that I don't want to switch out whatsoever. The +0 Boots of Rampaging. Boots of Rampaging are one that I would never normally consider, but I think they're actually kind of solid on sneaky characters, because when you get the free step towards enemies, it's half the time spent making stealth checks, as far as I'm concerned. Definitely correct me if I'm wrong about that, and there are secret hidden stealth checks even within the Boots of Rampaging, but I think that that might be a sneaky advantage of those boots, and we're not currently wearing boots, so we would also gain 1 point of AC at least. I know, attribute bonuses are pretty good, but don't think it's worth it for me here. Really interested to see how we would tackle a stabbing / hex only run. We'll definitely have to try it out at some point, even if just to have some fun and to show off. I like trying to showcase the flexibility and the other options in the game, because if we were truly just trying to get through this, winning with every species as fast as possible, speedrun strats, I'd probably just be playing a berserker with like every species, because I'm pretty good at winning with berserkers. But instead, I'm very much interested in seeing how I would handle a stabbing hex run as well. So we'll put it on the list, and I'll try and make sure we get a good opportunity. Potentially Spriggans is a nice one to kind of fold it in somewhere where it's fully, I don't know, on theme, on brand for the species choice as well. But okie dokie. Yeah, man, a bit of a disappointment, says Safid. Indeed, I agree. I think just because I can't decide though, I'll grab the boots. I need the extra AC. As long as I remember I'm wearing them, shouldn't get ourselves killed. And I'm curious to see if I can just teleport next to enemies using the rampage effect. Might be pretty good. But okie dokie, back to Orc, shall we? So we know there is a smoke demon and some tough buddies at the bottom here, but we are already looking much more solid than our first attempt, if the 6 for encounter was anything to say. Never mind, that ended up immediately putting me back to the other camp of Jeez Louise. You almost want to meme slings, but fast move is good. Yeah. No, the meme slings with the manual there would have been pretty great. Just ramping up to 27 as fast as possible, but yeah, I do think we land on the same final page there. This might be the way to go here. Especially, actually, I did just kind of come to the realization that on top of closing the distance with sleeping enemies, another kind of subtle advantage to the Boots of Rampaging are that when we knock everyone out, or when everyone is forced to stop and watch us dance, or whatever it is with Uskaya here, jeez Louise, 3 smites like kills us, right? Jeez. Hurry! Should probably go in for a heal. Something like that. Oh, I hate doing it. This is not the fight to put us into dire straits like this. This should have been super straightforward. I spent way too long just swinging at the orc warriors while the priests were smiting from the back lines there. But I might even take a couple turns. Yeah, okay. I have to use a health potion. Then we're going straight for the priests. But there we go. So that was actually potentially an example of what I was trying to say before I interrupted myself with my almost getting myself killed thing. I think that when we get everyone to freeze us for Skaya's little stun, the rampage will allow us to, yeah, jump towards enemies there and make sure we get the backstabs in before they wake up. So that's pretty sweet. But okay. As my usual kind of standard fare, we've burnt our way through most of our consumables here today. And now run into Azrael, who's not someone we want to run and face right now here. Don't exactly have the fire resistance to back it up, but I'm just waiting enough turns to know that he for sure will start coming around the bottom side there. We've had our escape cut off one too many times by sneaky buddies, so let's do it this way, shall we? I'm trying to move not too fast, just in case we get damnation and fireballs thrown upon us in quick succession. Jesus. We still have to survive these two elementals, I believe. Fun stuff. Let's dodge around. You are resistant to electricity. Makes sense, makes sense. Let's take you both into the thinner corridor here and see how we fare, shall we? Jeez Louise. Again, the game does not want to make it easy for Hal here. It started with mostly panic moments in the early game, and now that we're in the mid game, it's kind of settled into or thought out into more of a dull throbbing instead of difficulty. I think Azrael's gonna have to wait a little bit. I'd like a little bit more fire resistance and definitely better damage application. Good to know. Looking through stuff here, he does not see invisible, so that's a solid technique that we could try to employ against Azrael in the future at the very least. Keep that in mind, but I guess that might be goodbye Orc for now. Jeez Louise. And we'll keep shifting around. As long as, again, I guess we're not worried about Zot. I'm not worried about Zot at all. Long time. Also, Saphid saying, look, this is what happens when you face the one true god. Yeah. Definitely run into a bit of a challenge here, but it'll all be worth it in the long run, I'm sure. So yeah, let's head on out. To make the entrance of Swamp, we'll take a peek in. We have the necessary poison resistance at least. Should have less AC driven monsters here as well, which does work to our favor. But okie dokie. Starting the fight is always the scariest part here. Here goes nothing. See how well we carry ourselves through in the initial encounter here. Bunch of Spriggans, hey. There we go. I wanted to bring one of you upstairs with me. Love it. And then heal up, being as cheesy as we possibly can, of course. Dang it, Spriggan, you took my spot. Oh, geez Louise. Hold around, of course. Let's stab the worm first here, because if we start to run away, I definitely don't want to just get yanked back over and over. Of course, we are slowed by the water here, while this buddy is fast. Oh, never gonna catch a break on Hall. Tell you that much. Jeez Louise. Shouldn't have even bothered with the potion of curing there. Kind of just wasted that turn. What have we got? There are options. We have one potion of heal wounds. Could definitely use that. But where does that get us? Do we run to the stairs with what little health we have? Do we try and close the distance with the Spriggan? We never should have started running away. I think that's my main problem here. We could have just duked it out with our buddy there in person. Of course, teleport, fear scrolls, all the kind of usual stuff. Where do we sit on will? Bit higher than I'd like, so fear scroll, maybe not quite as much of an option as I'd like. Blink scroll, we'd like to hold on to if we can, so let's go for the heal. And now think about this for a quick sec. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 turns. 7 turns of running. We'll have Amulet of the Acrobat in effect. We make it to the stairs. It's easy. We just pop up, heal to max, and then we take this buddy in glorious combat. Let's back up a bit, shall we? Dang it, we're back into one-shot territory, of course. So, if it's not clear, made the wrong decision there. Here go all of our consumables at a problem that definitely shouldn't be burning them on. But alas, such is the way of life. And we're still alive. And that's all I really care about here. And in fact, maybe reducing some of the options for our future. Maybe I can't take a Spriggan Rider as much as I could. Thought I could, I should say. Okie dokie. Well, all I was saying, I guess, is that reducing our consumables will hopefully lead to me learning how to play without relying quite so much on consumables, because that does seem to be a bit of a crutch that I've been over-relying on, as it were. But as for right now, geez Louise, where do we wish to take ourselves on this journey? I don't remember where the entrance to Snake was. It's on Layer 4, so we'd have to go through Layer 3 in order to get there. Fantastic. No, we'll try this one more time. You can always retreat way earlier than necessary here. It's the one advantage to facing off against polearm users, is they do stay away from stairs. You don't have to worry about them following you. There we go. Bit of a weird sticking point in the run. Let's take a break, stretch out the old bones, make sure we get out the cricks and creaks, as it were. Take a sip, reconfigure the old brain here, and then we'll make some decisions. As we try our very best to keep Hal alive. I might just wear ID is Falchion? Falcon? Not sure off the top of my head. But yeah, it might have been past overtime that we switched up our weapon a wee bit here. Kept around one of our daggers for when we get the paralysis effect, maybe. Let's try it out. The +5 Falcon of Gozag's Pride. Vorpal, Noise, Dex +7. Dex +7, how much evasion does that give us? Just 1 point. Okay, so we're definitely kind of hitting the point now where we're taking pretty severe step downs on the amount of evasion that we get from each contributed point, as it were. Sub-category, or sub-currency, as it were. So that's not a fantastic gain of dexterity. Vorpal is pretty solid. Brand at the very least, just extra damage. +5, not too shabby. Base damage is 7 versus the 4 of a dagger. Maybe I'd just use the longsword. I don't think the noise quite does the trick for me there. So let's try out this longsword. If we swing with that, it takes us just over a turn each attack. But that might do the trick. Let's take a peek down here. Who else saw us? There was a swamp dragon or something, right? I knew it. Why weren't you guys showing up on the reader seats there? But, hey, if this fight's any indication of sword versus dagger, that went much better than most of the recent fights, at least, against monsters of similar power levels. So, I think it's time. Make a bit of a pivot. We haven't found an early quick blade or anything, so why not? Train a little bit of long blades at least. At the very least, we could get it under an attack, at or under an attack per turn on our sword here. Be happy with that. Man. Alright, we don't have our sword on our quick switch yet, so we can be manual about that for a wee bit here. Let's even head up and reset this fight, shall we? It's the dang old Goliath toads. Manually switch over to a sword here, and let's see how that does. Dang it, Hydra. We're doing some testing here, man. Can't you see that? So rude to intrude on our one-on-one duel. Our match to the death between me and that Dang old Goliath Toad, but okay, that answers the swamp question for the time being. We are going to have to back off on that, give it a bit of a break. But I'm ready now to head back into Snake. Try out this sword, see if it does a slightly better job at taking out these enemies in any reasonable amount of time, rather than hitting them like 10 times in a row and dealing no damage with a single one. And it does seem to be the case. Might have stumbled upon the solution. Still have to play it super cautiously the next little bit. So we figure out if that is indeed the case. Please let me... Oh, I wanted to get the sneak attack off so badly there. Oh geez, and this fight started out hugely in our favor and then took a wild swing near the end there. Thus is usually the way it goes for evasion-based builds, I guess. All it takes is a couple of bad rolls to kind of change your tune, as it were. Okay, Guardian's Serpent can definitely warp enemies to surround us, even though they don't seem to be doing it. Maybe we already count as close enough to surrounded where we are. Something silly like that. Ah, no, there we go. They did teleport one in. 18 times 7, ouch. Yeah, for the Hydra damage there, absolutely brutal. Unless you have the armor class to dance, it's pretty much going to be a just get the heck out of there every time. Speaking of getting the heck out of there, let's take advantage of how slow these Naga are and run our little toes all the way back to the entrance. Perfect. No reason to endanger ourselves in even a tiny infinitesimal more than we should at this stage in the game. Let's see how she goes. Maybe let's not walk towards people and let's instead wait for them to notice us. No, apparently not. One of them did step into a teleport trap, so who knows where the heck they ended up. Hello? Anyone? Notice me? Please? Please notice me. I don't want to have to step closer. I'm so scared. Oh my gosh, they're all right there. Okay, there we go. Finally. Start coming my way. Let's run back to the hallway, so I'm at least only dealing with one. The constriction is absolutely brutal on these bad boys. Didn't see that being quite as bad as it was. And again, stupidly stayed in the fight way longer than I should have. But it's not over yet. I say as I put myself into a dead end. It's not over yet because we have a teleport scroll. Ooh, so we teleport out of there. Nobody noticed us. Now we're in the opposite case of last time where I want absolutely nobody to notice me. Just keep walking, please. Sir. No such luck. One more teleport. Let's go for it. See where that leaves us. What the heck, game? That's not different. It's just the same place. But would you look at that? We got our paralysis effect. Wipe out all these buddies. Also a bit of a cubby hole to hide away in now, so that's slightly better in our attempts to heal up. Bring off, Naga. Nobody invited you here? Perfect. There we go. Going exactly as intended, of course. No mistakes or bad play. Just testing the limits and all that. But not too shabby. We're managing to just barely stay alive. We have some curing if this poison gets lethal, but not that much, you know? So let's try an Ice Blast. I want to finish off this encounter fast. Oops. The beam is likely to hit you. Continue anyway. Heck no. Thank you, game. Thank you so kindly. Instead, I'd like to hit the snack with the undodgeable stuff, if you'd be so kind. We'll even just run away from the Naga buddy here. Hopefully not running into the anacondas. Also not that snake if I can help it. Oh, geez, Louise, the anacondas. You son of a... Yeah, how much damage do you deal? Sir, this is a Wendy's. Yeah. But bites up for 20, constrict for up to 6 damage. To begin ongoing constriction. Please don't call attention to us. Oh, crap. Oh, I did not think this one through, did I? Absolutely brilliant work, me. Let's switch over to Fear Scroll, shall we? That buys us the tiniest fraction of time. Okay, don't explore new territory by accident. Head to a corner. Turns out we're not quite at 0 consumables yet, so we're going to keep putting ourselves into dangerous situations until I've used up all of those. You know, last Fear Scroll, all 6 teleport scrolls. That's when we'll stop being stupid, right? Something like that? Sure, why not? Here goes, trying to sneak in from the other angle now. Please, sir, oh my gosh, I just want to get to my door. No, that's not going to work. Instantly activating teleport before all that nonsense hurts us. Speaking of nonsense, what a wacky situation we find ourselves in now. We're susceptible to cold. This buddy's gonna poke at us from across the lava is the unfortunate part. So, let's try and nip this in the bud, shall we? Oh, I don't want to lose my sling bullets to the lava. Oh no, it's such a conundrum. I want to kill you quickly, but I don't want to lose my good stuff. Come on. Jeez Louise. Okay, fine. I'm going down the stairs. I'm gonna see how this plays out. Still alive. Backstab. Oh, get wrecked. Okay. This gives us opportunity to heal. It's working. Maybe, just maybe. Should have been on my sling already, probably. Let's try this fight one more time, shall we? Jesus. Oh, me oh my. Nobody find us again. Please, please, please. Nobody find us. He's hiding in a little crumbled mess at the bottom of the stairs here, shivering anxiously. Okay, one more try. Let's do this. You and I. Just quick tabs, quick tabs. Use all those rocks. We even got the paralysis effect that time. Hey, would you look at that? Managed to take them out. Also, save it in chat here. Pointing it out. Use the ice sling. You're a genius. / I'm an idiot. Let's go with you're a genius, though. That one makes me feel slightly better about myself. That is exactly true.